And then I've got bad days where, well, we had that moment a couple of weeks ago when I was down on the sofa for 3 nights because I just couldn't
get back upstairs.
Couldn't get back upstairs. I just didn't have the strength in my legs.
It was this sofa that we slept on. Good old sofa.
So it's, silly things like that. And silly things like that I've also got to take into consideration.
Everywhere we go now, we've got to, it's like, is it wheelchair accessible?
Yeah, because and some other people are like, well, why are you in a wheelchair if you can walk? This is another thing. People think people that are in wheelchairs are all paralyzed.
No,
it's not. I mean, we know that because, I know because of work, and also your mother who has an illness, which
she uses the wheelchair for. So you can port it about the house. And when we say port it about the house, we're not talking about running around the house up and down.
Run.
We're talking about...
If I had to try and run after the kids, they'd be laughing. They'd be like, come on, slow coach. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Like getting from the sofa to the kitchen, and then you've got to sit down with a stool and have a breather. So portering isn't, I'll just quickly clean downstairs. That's not what we mean by portering. It's literally, I can walk from here to there, have a break.
And they're good days.
Yeah. And then after that, we know that what follows after that. There's 2 or 3
we
days
have good days where, and then I've got bad days where, well, we had that moment a couple of weeks ago when I was down on the sofa for 3 nights because I just couldn't
get back upstairs.
I just didn't have the strength in my legs.
And it was this sofa that we slept on. Good old sofa.
So it's, silly things like that. And the summer holidays was probably the hardest because, we always go for walks, go out. We're part of the National Trust, so we go to places like different gardens, and luckily they are wheelchair accessible also, which is good. Excuse me. I can't even do things like, go somewhere and run around with my kids in a park.
Yeah.
Which luckily, my children are now 12 and 9. So they can
run themselves.
Yeah, they can run around themselves. I'm like, go for it. But, if you want to be a big kid like we are.
Yeah, we are big kids.
We're the first, push the kid out the way. We're first on the climbing frame.
I'm hanging upside down.
Yeah. I
couldn't even go to the toilet without you being on the bloody pull-up bar, hanging upside down, going, hi.
Yeah. And now it's just like, can't. No. It's crap.
It has been a massive shift for us in regards to the relationship, but also, I don't think we've lost anything either. We've lost the running about things, but we haven't lost anything else. I personally don't think.
No.
It's definitely brought us together stronger.
Yeah.
And obviously the landscape's changed.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that you have got family members that are poorly.
Yeah.
And I think, because I know there's some people, bless them, and their partners leave them because they can't cope with it.
They struggle.
And they struggle with it.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason you've been able to be so strong and do it is because of...
Well, because of my parents and
Yeah.
Samuel's mum and everything. And for me, it wasn't a case of... there was no anxiety. There was no worrying. As soon as we were in the hospital and I had a gut feeling that this is going to
You
be...
were plotting in your little head.
I was already plotting. I was already... You were like, don't move, don't worry about moving the furniture now. I'd come home and I'd
Done it.
I
had a little studio apartment in here.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I did it for myself. It wasn't for her.
Yeah, unfortunately you had to sleep in the living room as well. So, I mean, it can completely throw some people. I think because of my situation and my job, I was strong enough to get through it. I mean, I could have had moments where I'm like, sod it.
I've had enough.
I've had enough, blah, 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 what the hell's this? But
really been defeatist.
Yeah, and I was just like, at times I was like, well, if I'm going to be in a wheelchair, I'm going to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. It's the end of the world. I was just like,
Pragmatic, that
if it's going to be, it's going to be.